Shawn, all the way to the wire. How was that for you?
Yeah, do you know, I felt really good at 3-0. And played this blue to what we call the number 2 pocket, and it really felt like it turned. Like I thought it was in when I hit it, and it didn't go in, and that really sort of felt as if it gave him a foothold. Saying in the dressing room, the 5th frame after the interval's now massive. I should have won it and lost it. There was a couple of frames in the middle of the game I should have won and didn't. And of course, like, we don't need to, you know, you can't give anyone any extra confidence, but certainly someone like Zhao Xintong, he started to get his way into the match, and then in the end, I mean, it's anyone's in a decider, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's such a fantastic player. You knew once the draw come out that you had to play well to beat him. He wasn't someone who's, you know, you can just play average. You had to play your top game. And I see you're working with Peter.
Yeah.
That's is that on the concentration side?
Yeah, well, I think it's who knows what side of the game it'll be to work. I don't know, but you know, I think you know, I've worked with so many different people over the years, and you know, had a lot of involvement with different coaches. The only box I've never ticked is working with someone who's actually been out there themselves, with a cue in their hand, with the suit on, and been out in the pit, in that gladiatorial environment, and gone at it. And got the T-shirt, and I just wonder. I wanted to scratch that itch for a while, just to know whether having someone who's felt it, just with that right word at the right time, might make the difference.
That's a really interesting point. So on X, I'm not sure if you've seen this, so Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray are now going to be working together at the Australian Open, with Andy Murray taking a little break in his retirement to coach the legends that is Novak Djokovic. Right. Breaking news some minutes ago, if you do want to watch the Australian Open, you can do it in the new year, and it will be available on TNT/Eurosport Discovery Plus. So, for yourself, any player in the game, who would you want as your coach? Someone who's felt it, just like you say. Yeah,
well, as I say, I mean, I'm delighted to be, you know, paired up with Peter. And it's really nice, actually. It's actually quite cyclic. It's like, I'm not going to burst into song, but it is a bit like the circle of life. You know, and I would have run into Peter as a 10 or 11-year-old boy in Northants, where he was based. He was the name. I watched him make his debut at the Crucible in '92. So to now have paired up, and as I say, like, you know, I don't think Peter's going to rewrite the world, you know, reinvent the wheel with my grip position and my bridge position.
No.
But I think just having that certain something to say at the right time, in the dressing room, interval, pre-match, might just be the difference.
The player I can think of in the past was Terry Griffiths, who could have done that, because obviously he was world champion and he's a brilliant coach, so he's one I can think of who would have ticked all those boxes. Obviously Terry's not very well these days and not going to be involved anymore, but you know, with Peter, I suppose, he's a bit of a maverick player, wasn't he? I mean, he won the world championship, fantastic player. But he did things in his own way, didn't he? You know, he wasn't conventional with his play.
No, he didn't. And even just in the few sessions we've had in here and on the table, you know, he's predicted a few shots where I'm going to ask him if he's okay. No, is everything okay? Yeah. But in all seriousness, I don't think you can beat advice from somebody who's actually been there and done it. As I say, he's not going to help me with my bridge, weight distribution, shouldn't, you know, maybe a bit of shot selection at the right time. But I think just having that certain who's been there, and that's the key, they've been out there, might be, well, it's something I've never done before. So
for me, he's always been the most mentally strong snooker player that's ever been, Peter Ebdon. You know, you never know when you've got him. You know, he never shows any emotion. And, you know, he's won the World Championships, but he was just one of them players. He was so difficult to beat.
Never take a backward step, would he, Peter?
No, he was always super focused, I'm going to ask him.
And I think if I'm sort of critical of myself, you know, because I do a bit of soul searching and I've been doing a lot of thinking about my game, you know, it's 10 years since I won one of these Triple Crown events. I don't feel like that's a good enough return for my ability and for my effort. I'm delighted to have won the Triple Crown set, absolutely delighted. But I feel like I could have and should have won more. And if I'm ultra critical of myself, I think I might have, certainly in the last few years, probably gone a bit soft. Probably gone a bit, isn't this all nice? Let's shake hands and have a nice game. Good luck to you, play well. Someone will win, someone will lose, this, that, and the other. I think I've gone a little bit soft. I forgot that this is war. It is war. It's gladiatorial. It's person against person. Someone wins and someone loses. And, you know, you certainly couldn't accuse Peter Ebdon of being soft.
No, and you look at you there, you can see what it means, you know. I mean, to be honest, you weren't favourite in this match in many people's eyes. That you know, there were a lot of people saying that that Xintong was going to win. It was a horrible draw for you. Let's be honest about it. It's not the draw you wanted. So was there anything about you being the underdog in the match or not?
I've long given up trawling through comments on social media, working out what the snooker, Twitterati think. But I think I certainly echo what you're saying. I mean, it was possibly, I think, the worst draw anyone could have had against Xintong. He's here as a Q Tour invite, a winner of the last couple of Q Tour events. Last few weeks he's made back-to-back 147s. He had a 146, I think, in the qualifiers for this.
Shouldn't be allowed.
I think he's absolutely flying. Absolutely flying at the minute. Comes here, I'm on an absolute hide into nothing.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the stuff that's happened in the last couple of years with Xintong, that's all being talked about. So there was a lot on that match.
It was a good win.
It was a big match. And I think, in previous seasons, being a bit soft, I might have buckled.
Do you know when you say
I won't be buckling now.
Hi, I'm Ronnie O'Sullivan and welcome to Eurosport Snooker on YouTube. Click here to subscribe to Eurosport Snooker.